Just a few hours from now, Apple will unveil the second generation of its iPad tablets. Speculation has been swirling for weeks about what upgraded features and new applications the iPad 2.0 may have. You heard some of it there from a Gleacher & Company analyst, Brian Marshall. Now, Ross Rubin, director of industry analysis for the NPD Group, has been doing some speculating of his own and some research as well. Ross leads NPD's coverage of consumer electronics and wireless products. He is here with us at Bloomberg. Ross, Brian there was talking about 2 cameras, faster processor. What do you, if the iPad 2 is going to be a game changer of sorts, really take on research in motion, Motorola, which came out with the Zoom just the other day, what's it going to have in your opinion?
Well, Apple's really in the driver's seat right now. I think we can expect a dual-core processor like we're seeing from some of these newer tablets. But other than that and the front-facing camera, I don't think we're going to see radical changes to the form factor, which has proven very popular.
What about the idea of price? I mean, we've been reading, Erik just mentioned Motorola Zoom. It seems a little bit more expensive than some of the products that Apple is offering, maybe this new version. Do you think Apple is going to try to stave off competition by ordering a more, or rather offering a more price competitive product?
Well, right now they seem to be pretty price competitive, particularly for unsubsidized products.
More so.
I don't see them dropping prices at this point.
When you look at where the Apple falls short of products like the Motorola Zoom. The Motorola Zoom is about the same weight, but it has these cameras. It's got the faster processor. It's got a screen of about the same size. So maybe it doesn't fall short in that many respects. Could it redefine the tablet marketplace if it really is that much lighter? If it really perhaps has a better screen like the iPhone 4 did relative to the iPhone 3? If it's got these 2 cameras, even though you say it may only have 1 front-facing camera?
I don't think it's really so much about a features race at this point. One of the key differentiators is going to be distribution. Motorola, big cell phone company, going to be distributing through Verizon and other carrier channels, whereas Apple is very strong at retail, although we may see them hop onto Verizon as well with this version of the iPad.
What about just the apps that we all use and we all love? I mean, I know some people have really praised the operating system for Motorola Zoom, the Honeycomb. This, of course, Google's product, saying that it's really elegant and you kind of have this execution that maybe hasn't been seen before. What is this going to do for Motorola's relationships with app developers?
Well, this is really where Apple has the huge head start in terms of the number of apps that are native to the platform, at least 25,000 to virtually none from the competition. And I think we may see a lot more announced on the software and services side than the hardware per se today.
Ross, how much of a risk in your mind is there that Apple just doesn't hit the ball out of the park today, that the iPad 2 is underwhelming?
Again, they've had very strong success with the first product. Wouldn't expect major changes, and history has shown that when they get off to a good start with a first-generation product, they don't make radical changes.
This is what people say it may look like. Doesn't look a whole lot different from the iPad 1. And when you say Apple's in the driver's seat, is that to say that it kind of doesn't matter how much more, as you said, feature-rich this one is? They're already selling tons of iPads. People expect, Sanford C. Bernstein expects them to sell 16.3 million units, or I'm sorry, generate $16 billion in revenue from the iPad this year. So whether it's great or whether it isn't, people just keep buying it anyway?
Well, it's not quite that simple. I mean, the front-facing camera clearly will allow them to catch up with the FaceTime capability that they've had on their other products and really fit better into their ecosystem. So there are a few things on the to-do list, but right now, the lead is looking pretty comfortable.
We're looking at some of the competitors as we've charted them. We didn't put Motorola in there, but you can see Research in Motion. You can see Samsung. Do either of these two have a chance at all of catching up in this tablet space?
Well, again, I think part of it is the ecosystem issue. The apps really have to start to be there for the new version of Android.
All right. Thank you very much. That is Ross Rubin. He is joining us right here in the newsroom, Director of Industry Analysis for the NPD Group. Well